I always wanted to see Devil's Advocate, guys. This 1997 movie that stars Pacino, Keanu, Reeves. The visual of this movie looks like it was shot during the early 2000s. It was so clear, so clean, so enticing to watch. The story of this movie is about Kevin, a successful lawyer who had won almost all of the cases he has handled, and now gets this really amazing big offer in New York from a firm, and now he has to relocate to New York with his wife, and not knowing that this is going to cost him more than his job. One of the things I loved about this movie is his relationship with his wife. I really admire Kevin's relationship with his wife. They felt so much like bodies. They felt so much like one. Like how they understood themselves, how they like love themselves so much. I really enjoyed both characters, and I feel like both casting for this show was like perfect casting. They had that much chemistry and that compatibility. I love how the story builds up. We have this movie where there's like black magic voodoo mixed into it, and this was controlled by Milton. So one of the things I didn't really enjoy with the later scenes of this movie, towards the end of this movie, we had this story of where, after Kevin had gone to New York, and he finds himself in a place where everyone there, the team's not really feel right. His wife starts to go north, and later, after he lost his wife, realizing that, comes to Milton, and Milton is trying to seduce him to have sex with his half sister, and now it's like whatever it does, then he kills himself, and Milton shouts, and everything just feels so bizarre and it just doesn't really make sense. And later we go back to the later scene where we are seeing Kelvin, the previous scene where we've seen earlier from the start of this movie, where he's washing his face, just feels like just had like a revelation. If he accepts the offer and he goes to New York, this is how his life is going to turn out. And later on, we now have someone else that is still trying to praise him, trying to let him know that he's such a really good lawyer. Just feel like probably if he accepts to do that interview, he's later going to go back to New York, and all of this is going to happen. So I just feel like this movie was supposed to be really good. I feel like this movie was supposed to feel so much better. But with this whole voodoo thing and everything just being out of place, just made me realize, like, why did this movie go like this? I didn't really like later on the story, but I felt like probably there was like an essence of. There were a lot of funny and relatable scenes in this movie, which I really enjoyed. And I really enjoyed Kelvin's character, how he was so focused in his job, and he loved to win. And he also had that thing in him that he always wanted to win, even though it was by no purpose. And funny how it was always representing the bad people. Funny how, and I really enjoyed Martin's character was played by in Al Pacino. It was so, it was all over the place. Like, he felt like he was the boss, but he didn't really feel like the boss. Like, the half time for any of his employees. So I really enjoyed myself watching it. Even though later on I felt like the story, I didn't really expect this to. Probably like I had certain expectation, and there was an idea of how I wanted it to be, and I didn't really go through that way. But guys, overall, let me know if you've seen Devil's Advocate, and let me know what you think about it. So guys, please follow me for more reviews, like my video, comment, and share my video, guys. Please don't go if you like my video, please, and follow me for more reviews, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you guys soon. Bye.